So that's the only way I can get my little jack stands to reach. I have to take the front wheels off, put the ball joints on blocks, and then the jack stands just reach. Maxed out, completely maxed out. But we're rolling pretty well. That's in. The new subframe, I guess you'd call it. Maybe, I don't know. Who fucking knows? Diff's about to come out. Got all my measurements. Yeah, diff's going to come out tonight. Hopefully get the new one sitting there. Won't touch the welder until tomorrow. And yeah, so far so good. Righto, day 2 of coil conversions on the Hilux. Just walking out from my granny flat into the shed. So, update. Last night I got everything to do with the shocks out, fuel tanks out, what else is out? This cross member here, that's out. The rear half of the leaf springs is out. I've just got a little bit more cutting to do to get the front half out, and then I will be ready to run the diff in. So take the factory diff out, put the 4-runner diff in, start bolting everything to the subframe, and yeah, and then I can start really getting into the measurements and everything. Alrighty, so the old diff's out, new diff's ready to go in. We got first bar, second bar, third and fourth bar. They're all just sitting there. There's no tacks or anything. Once I remember where I put the sway bar, the panhard rod, I'll put that in, and then the diff can go in. Plan is I'm going to connect it up to the tail shaft first, which sort of gives me a rough idea of sort of front to back where the diff has to be, and then I will just start measuring and measuring and measuring and measuring, and then eventually tack and start tacking. Alrighty, so 4-runner rear diff is in, connected to the tail shaft, all bolted up. Everything's kind of loose so it can sort of move. These bottom mounts are loose as well. Just gonna pretty much start measuring and moving things and getting it all into the right position, and then I can weld. Getting keen. It's gonna be exciting. Put the panhard rod in, shocks in. The shocks are fucked. Yeah, diff's bolted up. Yeah, it's happening. It's finally happening. Alrighty, she is tacked into place in 2 places. It's 100% ready to weld in. It's all back to its factory specs-ish, but the wheelbase is still identical to what it was before I started all this exercise, so time to weld. Alright, I've just rolled it out. It's all fully welded. Rolls out fine. Pretty exciting. Pretty big moment. Just converted my N60 Hilux to coil springs in about a day and a half. Pretty happy with that. Now it's just a case of cut that last brace out, move the fuel tank up there because it is too small to fit there. Brake lines, fuel lines, a little bit of electrical, and put the tray back on. Ew. Coils are done. So the things you have to do: cut out everything leaf spring, take out your fuel tank, unbolt the leaf springs from the back. There is a cross brace that goes across here through that hole. You have to cut that out, and you do have to plate over that. Grind off anything that is on the chassis rails from pretty much back there to there, outside and inside. You'll have to trim just this tub mount if you're a single cab bloke like I am, or a space cab even, and then just weld hard, go nuts. Super. Alright, so coil conversion done. Fuel tank done. Sort of, almost. I've just got to get some new fuel line, but it's in, it's not going anywhere. Needs a bash plate, but that'll come later. Yeah, coil conversion completely done. Just drove it. I only drove it to, you know, the end of the driveway and back, but still a drive. To say I'm excited is an understatement, but just look at it. Look at it. Coils. Yes. Oh, I'm so excited. So at the moment it's pissing out fuel because I've got, I think, diff breather hose as a temporary fuel line, but hey, it was just to make sure the fuel pump worked. The what else? Yeah, it's finished. I've just got to, what I got to do? Bleed the brakes. Fairly easy to do. I hate bleeding brakes. I reckon the brakes are going to be the hardest part of the whole job. I've got to just get a couple of new fuel lines and then put the tray back on and go and enjoy it. For anyone wondering, grey hairs, fucking hell, working that hard. Anyone wondering, it will get engineered at some point, but for right now, I'm gonna be that guy and run the risk. Obviously, this isn't a true test of flex, because just then it picked up the left-hand wheel. But in saying that, the only weight on the back is the chassis and the fuel tank. There's nothing up there, so it just can't really flex. It just wants to pick up its wheel. But I reckon once we get that bloody tray back on, this thing should flex pretty well. I'm so happy with this. And I mean, from driving it up and down the driveway, it seems to drive pretty well. But we shall soon find out, I guess.